Hey, it's Friday. It's 12 noon Eastern Time. We're in Tampa, Florida, coming to you live wherever you are around the planet for State of Real Estate. I'm John Chrismo, and this show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. And what we do is every Friday, we come into your devices, live stream to you, to our past students, to our future students, to people that will never be our students but want to make their lives better. We come to you to help you understand things about the real estate industry. And today we're talking about a topic that's not only going to help you be successful in real estate, but this is also going to help you in any sort of business success or anything that you're trying to accomplish. And I know we got a controversial topic today: friends or enemies? Friends or enemies? Are they friends or are they enemies? And, you know, we kind of tossed around a couple ideas for the title before we put this one up here because, you know, we didn't want to, irk too many people about all this stuff here because they might say, John, how could I call my friend an enemy? How could they be my enemy? They're my friend. Well, what we're talking about today is how this relates to your life, to your goals, to your success. And are they a friend to your success? Or are they an enemy to your success? Just because you have a relationship with them, this could be friends, this could be family members, this could be coworkers, this could be employees, this could be anybody that you have in your life that you have surrounded yourself with. Are these people friends to your success or are they enemies to your success? And I know this seems like a tough topic and this might, kind of like get some people like, oh, no, I don't want to get rid of my friends. And I'm not saying get rid of your friends. We're going to talk about how you can handle this if you find out one of these friends maybe isn't so much a friend to your success. Maybe they're more an enemy, or maybe you don't want to call them an enemy. Maybe we'll call them an adversary to your success. But you got to understand who this is. I've broken this down basically into 4 steps. I love making things into steps. So you do this, you do that, you get your result. That's what I'm all about. You get your steps, you know what you got to do, and this is a good way of distilling everything down. So I've got these 4 steps here. Number 1, you got to become aware. So number 1, you're becoming aware of the people around you. Are they a friend to your success or an enemy to your success? We're going to be talking about how to break that down and understand that a little bit better. Step 2 is if you find out they are an enemy to your success. Like I said, I'm not telling you to cut off all the people out of your life automatically, but if they're an enemy or an adversary or they're against your success, and maybe they don't even mean to be against your success. This could be parents, this could be spouses, boyfriends, girlfriends, close friends, and there's many reasons we're going to dive into of why they could be an enemy to your success, but we're going to talk about understanding, do you want to repair this? That's step 2. Step 3, it doesn't matter if you can repair it, if you can't repair it. So step 2 is do you want to repair? And step 3 is can you repair that? And then step 4, based on your assertion of all this, is this somebody you're going to keep in your life and try to fix that relationship and help them understand why you have to do what you need to do and how this is going to contribute to their success, and how if they're not going to be supportive in helping you build your success, how you can't continue that type of friendship, or you just move on. You cut them out of your life. And you might not want to do that. So that's really the worst case scenario with this type of thing. Or if you want to make it easy and you don't have attachments, you can just move on right there. You don't have to spend your time on these other steps. So we're going to be diving into, let's get right into the first part right here for step 1, understanding of who's around you, who is surrounding you, and how are they impacting and influencing your life. Becoming aware and understanding these people that are around you. That's the first part of this, because your friends might not really be enemies. They could be friends to not only you at a relationship level, but also friends to your success as well. Friends could be very great for helping move you forward, but at the same time, they could have the completely opposite effect. So what you have to do first and foremost is become aware of the people it is that you have in your life. And I don't want to just use this word friend here. Let's just talk about, again, any of the people that could be in your life. It could be yourself. You could be your own worst enemy towards your end goal success. So how do we kind of understand the people and assess the people around us and become aware of whether or not they're friends to our success or they're enemies to our success? So what you have to do first and foremost is understand what that success looks like. You got to have your end goal, the finish line. You got to know what that finish line looks like. If you don't know what the finish line looks like, you're going to have a hard time getting to that finish line there. You don't know which way to go. So you got to know what the finish line is, and then you got to know what it takes that leads up to that finish line. What's going to get you there to that finish line? Because if you don't know the steps and what it's going to take and what your lifestyle basically looks like, and I'm not just talking about career-related or business-related success, this is anything it is that you want to achieve in your life. Maybe you're a hobbyist of something. I was watching some live streams. I've got a cousin who's like really into like these weather balloon things, these high altitude balloons, and he does live streams on them as well. And I've watched these things, and I'm like, man, he's really into this. I'm like, I couldn't get into something like that unless it's about money. But that's just me. I mean, maybe he's got science or whatever it is that he's doing with that. So whatever it is that you want to do, if you want to achieve success, if he wants to be the best weather ballooner that's out there, he's got to understand what that end goal looks like and what steps are going to lead up to that, and then making sure he has everyone that's around him on that same page, pushing him to the success. Now let's talk about career related for a little bit here, business related. If you want to grow your career or grow your business, and how basically you take the people that are around you, get them on the same page as you for knowing what that end goal looks like, where you want to be, how you're going to get there. And what you got to be careful with, and like I said, you could be your own worst enemy here, because number one, you got to know where it is that you're going. If you don't know where it is that you're going, you have a hard time getting there. So that you're being your own enemy if you don't know what that end goal is actually going to look like. But then, again, you can't be an enemy of yourself. You have to know those steps, and you actually have to go forth and do those steps. And what this comes down to, because you could actually be working through this stuff, and we did an episode last week about staying motivated, and the one before that, staying focused, and these all kind of are, it's almost like a trilogy of attaining success, what we're talking about here, because we talked about what it is that you need to do, but now we're talking about the people it is that that are surrounding you, that you want to kind of push towards the success. So basically, we want to look at our people. So we got some comments coming in here. We got one from Tim here. Can't watch YouTube anymore without being bombarded. Got me to look. Yeah. So what we're talking about with this, Tim, is we're trying to get everyone on our same page. And the first way you go about getting people on your same page is they got to know what that page looks like. They got to know what the writing is on there. They got to know what that story looks like, what your story looks like. And this goes for whether you're marketing to people or whether you have people that you want to try to that are on your team, that are employees, that are friends, that are family members. What it is that you need to tell them that, hey, you got to be upfront with them, because you can't get mad at these people for getting in the way of your success if they don't know what it is that you're trying to achieve and what it is that you're trying to go out there and do. If you're trying to be the top real estate agent in your market, and you've got friends saying, oh, come on, let's go watch some football, or let's watch whatever sport that's on TV, or maybe you're not into sports, but maybe you're into TV shows, or maybe you like just doing recreational things, which that's fine. You could like doing those types of things, but now you got to prioritize yourself here. You got to prioritize yourself. And if you're spending majority of your time in recreation and leisure, what do you think you're going to excel at? You'll probably get great at watching football, or you might get great at bicycling, or you might get great at whatever it is that you're spending time on. Whatever it is that you're putting attention and time and effort into, that's what's going to excel in your life. If you put attention on any aspect like this, that's what's going to move forward. So you have to take that same principle and apply it to what it is that you want to do. If you want to obtain success in real estate, or any sort of business for that matter, you got to go all in on that business or all in on that real estate and have a focus on that. So we're talking about getting people on the same page of you. And like I said, if you guys got comments or questions, put those into the comments. I'd love to answer your questions here live on the show. This is a live stream, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. I've got both of the chats loaded up right here, so I'll be able to respond to any good questions that you guys send back. We're going to talk more about trying to decide whether your friends are friends or they're really enemies to your success. And also, before we go on the commercial break, you're going to see a commercial in there about our Memorial Day weekend sale. If you're thinking about starting a career in real estate, we're doing a massive sale on our online course right now. We really don't ever do sales, so check that out if you want to get your real estate license. Don't go anywhere. Put your comments in on the break. I'm John Chrisman. We'll be right back with State of Real Estate. Your moment has arrived. It's time to launch your career in real estate. Celebrate massive savings now through Memorial Day on our revolutionary online licensing course. Visit tampaschool.com to sign up now. Tampa 10 years ago is nothing like Tampa today. It's changed dramatically over those years, and that's what's really transitioned this to be the number one healthiest housing market in the entire nation. Tampa.
Do you want to incorporate studying for your real estate exams into your busy schedule? Now you can review the key topics you need to know to pass your class and state exams with our MP3 audio review. Simply pop in your headphones or connect to your car to reinforce crucial information while you exercise or drive. Listen to the first unit for free at mp3audioreview.com. That's mp3audioreview.com.
Hey, if you liked the show today, be sure to hit like and subscribe and post your comments. Thanks so much for watching. Hey, welcome back to this week's episode of State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time, we come to you to help you make your life better. Whether that life is involving real estate or you're trying to take your business to the next level, because that'll kind of enhance your life as well. We're talking today about friends or enemies. And not just are people your friend or your enemy, but are the people that you have in your life friends to your success, or are they enemies to your success? And like I said, the first thing you got to do here is become aware of the people it is that you have around you. And are they really helping pull you up, or are they pulling you down? Which way are they taking you? Which way are they dragging you? Or which direction? Because like I said, maybe you're watching football with somebody and that person really loves football. They're dragging you towards being a pro at watching football, which I don't even know if that's a thing. Some people think it is. But anyways, let's talk more about this. So let's talk about in your business. Maybe you're starting some sort of new business venture and you have people that are around you that are saying, hey, look, I know you really want to do this, but do you know how many problems you're going to have with this here? Maybe you're trying to invest in real estate and you've never invested in real estate before, and you have people that are coming to you saying, hey, real estate, that you can make some money with it, but do you really want to deal with tenants, and do you want to deal with termites, and you want to deal with toilets, and you want to deal with all of these things, because that's a lot of problems. Are you sure you want to do that? Yeah, I'm sure I want to do that. That's why I said I want to do that. So these people, they may think they're being your friend, and they may be a friend. This could be a family member. This could be a coworker. This could be anybody you have around your life again. But if they're telling you these things that are basically like, hey, look, you shouldn't do this, they're an enemy to your success. You say, hey, I'm trying to get to this finish line here. I'm trying to cross this finish line. And they're saying, are you sure you want to cross that finish line? Don't you know there's potholes in that road, and you could sprain your ankle, or you could trip and fall, or maybe you'll have a heart attack, or if you're running the race, you're not thinking about those things. You're thinking about getting to the finish line. And that's the way you got to think about your business. You think about your investments, and it's really hard to kind of turn this off sometimes, especially when you have this constantly going into your head. And that's why, like I said, you got to become aware of the people it is that you have around you, and what it is what are they contributing to your life. So some ways you can kind of identify and become a little bit more aware here is just that whole positivity versus negativity. Do you have a person that's saying, hey, do you really want to do this? Haven't you heard about this? Or no one makes money doing that? Or 90% of businesses fail within so many years? Or all these things that naysayers basically are going to be telling you. That's negativity. That's toxic. You don't want that in your life at all. You got to cut that off and quick. And that may involve taking that person out of your life, or it may involve you having an intervention basically with that person and saying, hey, look, I want to keep you in my life, but we can't continue like this. I can't keep having your negative thoughts rubbing off on me. I'm having a hard enough time keeping my own thoughts positive. I don't need the people around me not being positive as well. So that's something you definitely got to be aware of. Are they positive people, or are they negative influences? And this could go for just the thoughts that they're thinking and their reaction to how it is that you're moving forward. Or maybe it's saying, hey, look, let's go out. It's happy hour. And you're going to happy hour every day of the week, or you're supposed to be meeting with a client, or you're supposed to be doing floor duty or holding an open house or doing something. But yet there's people that are saying, oh, come on, let's just go grab a drink instead. Or you're like, no, I got to get to bed early so I can get up the next next morning and get out there and attack the day. So you got to understand what it is. And if they're making you feel bad for not wanting to go out and wreck your life, so to say, and to really kind of put roadblocks and obstacles up on your road to success, that's where you got to either have the serious conversation with them saying, hey, look, I'm not going to be a friend anymore if this is how it's going to keep going, or you just cut them off altogether. It's the one of two ways. One way is definitely a lot easier than the other, but I mean, depending on how much you want that person in your life or need that person in your life. Again, this doesn't necessarily have to just be friends. This could be family members, this could be spouses, this could be boyfriends or girlfriends or whatever it may be that are basically holding you back in some way. And again, if you want to keep them in your life, you have the discussion with them, and if things change, that's great. You conquer that obstacle right there. But if it's continually being a negative influence or really kind of holding you back from achieving those goals you want to achieve, that's going to be hard on you. Some of the other things you got to look at here, and this goes back to the positivity and negativity stuff here, are they supportive of that goal? So this goes back to knowing what it is that goal is that you want to achieve, where you want to go, how you get there, and then basically informing them, educating them on what that path looks like that you want to go to, the things that you need to do, because you need to if you want to have this person in your life, they should know what it is that you want to do with your life. If they know what you want to do with your life, they can probably help you. And that's where friends and family members can be great. If they know what your goals and ambitions are and they're supportive and positive and doing everything it is that they can to help you get towards those goals. But to really avoid this whole thing in the first place, just get them on the same page with you. If you're on the same page, you guys could run together. It's almost like a relay race at that point rather than just running a marathon on your own. So supportive and positivity, that's huge. Another one that comes here is, can you trust them? Is this a person you could trust in your life? And this goes especially for people that are extremely close to you, but also people involved in your business as well. Maybe you have a personal assistant that you hire to help you get stuff into the MLS or to contact clients. And not only do you, and the trust can we could apply to a bunch of different things. Not just trust, are they trustworthy, making sure that money is accounted for, but are they trustworthy in talking to people, not just dealing with maybe the money, but maybe in your reputation? Can you trust them as a part of your brand? Because when you bring somebody into your business as a personal assistant, or maybe you're a larger team and you're bringing in new team members, and this is something you see a lot in real estate, where not a lot of brokers or real estate teams are selective in who it is that they bring into them. They just want anybody that it is that you bring in there. And if you're a broker out there watching, I would say, hey, look, the people that you're bringing in there, they're a representation of your brand and your image. So if you can't trust them to be out there on their own and doing what you would do and giving that great experience, which they have to know what that looks like to begin with. So again, you got to have the knowledge and the education to begin with there. But once they know what it is what would you do, and if you could trust them to go out there and do what you would do, that's a great part of your team. But if you can't trust them to carry and uphold your brand and your name and your image, that's where you might have a problem there. Not that you might have a problem, you do have a problem there. So you got to make sure you could trust them. Again, not just trust them for being honest with you and telling you the truth, but also that you could trust them to do what it is that you need them to do. Because if you could trust them to do what you need them to do, then that's a good relationship. But if you can't trust them, it doesn't matter if you could trust them with $1 million of your money and you know that they wouldn't take a penny of that, but you can't trust them to go out there and do the actions that you need them to do, that's where you could run into an issue. So another one I've got here. Do they take more or do they give more? And this is where you find that balance between them. And this is going back to that kind of description that we had here. Are they pulling you up or are they pulling you down? Are they an anchor in your boat or are they an extra motor? I don't know, boats too much. But are they something that's helping move you forward or are they weighing you down? Are you on one of those little bicycles, the bicycles for two or whatever? What are they called? The bicycles for two. Well, I know they have some sort of name for them. Are they actually pedaling and pulling their weight? Or are they just kind of hanging out there like, wee, go faster? No, you got to have them on there actually pulling their weight. So and that's a very kind of clear situation of where they're taking more, but but you got to apply that to your life. Is this person here just here for a paycheck? Are they just here to make their life better? Or are they trying to make your life and your business better as well? Because if they expect you to make their life better via a paycheck, via a job, via benefits, or via whatever it is that you're offering in exchange for their benefit that they're adding to you and their value they're adding for you, they better be adding value if you expect that to be added in return. So you got to watch that give and take on that quite a bit. But again, I want to go back to this here. Are you your own worst enemy? And this comes down to, like I said, clearly defining that goal, clearly defining where it is that you want to end up going and where that race it is that you're running. What does that finish line look like to you? What do the steps leading up to this look like to you? So let's talk about specifically with real estate here. So let's say you just got your real estate license and you're trying to let's say you're just trying to sell a house. You're trying to sell a house. Let's talk about this very small goal. Not any long-term goals, so just something very small. You want to sell a house. Okay, end goal is I sell a house. What are the actions now leading up to that? Because I'm not just going to walk into the office one day and they're going to say, hey, you got a closing at 2 o'clock. You're like, oh, really? I have a closing? I didn't even know I had a client. No, that doesn't happen. There's all kinds of steps that lead up to this here. Just going into the office, just for the sake of going into the office, or like on Wednesday, we did a show about holding open houses. Holding an open house just for the sake of holding an open house isn't going to net you any sort of benefits. So you got to know what that end goal is. Again, let's say it's selling a house. Now, what actions do we have that lead up to selling the house? Well, selling the house, that's going to involve a closing. But before I could get to a closing, I got to have a contract. Before I have a contract, I have to have a showing. Before I have a showing, I have to have a client that wants to see property, and before I do that, I have to go out there and find the clients. So now you've reversed engineered this whole process of, okay, I need to sell this house. In order to do that, I need to go find somebody. I need to go set an appointment to show a property. I need to then show enough properties to where we get one under contract. I then need to have that contract not fall through for them to get approved for financing and so on and so forth. And then if everything goes smoothly, we end up with a closing. So you have this whole steps laid out and defined, but now the detailed actions that you're having to take to do this. So what is it that you're doing to find a client? Is it that you're holding an open house? So, okay, let's say you're holding an open house. And if you want to find out more about holding an open house, go back and watch our Ask the Instructor episode from this Wednesday. We were talking about holding open houses. So, okay, you have your open house that you're doing. All that prep work and everything we talked about to make this open house successful, you've done all that. But now it's a Saturday or it's a Sunday that you're doing this open house. And maybe you have somebody that expects you to do something with them on that particular day. What you have to do is, again, get them on the same page. Because if you just spring it on them, hey, I'm going to do an open house this weekend, so you know how we normally hang out on the weekend? I'm not going to do that. If you just don't show up, that's going to be where somebody's not happy with you. But the reason why they're not happy is because you didn't educate them about that. If you're upfront about these things, hey, look, I'm holding an open house this weekend, they start, and again, they could start throwing negative thoughts at you. It's like, oh, what are you doing an open house for? Or maybe you're telling other agents that you're doing an open house, and you'll get this a lot. You'll hear that magical statistic that is like the word of God to real estate agents, that less than 1% of houses sell as a result of an open house. Well, what that means is you hold 100 open houses, you're probably going to sell one. And those 100 open houses, if you're doing one every weekend, that's going to benefit you by one commission. That's just selling the house that you're holding open. So if you're holding an open house on Saturday and Sunday every day out of the year, or every week out of the year on Saturdays and Sunday, 52 weeks in a year, you're doing that every week, that's going to come out to 104 open houses. You should have sold at least one of those houses it is that you're holding open. But now the question comes to, do I want to actually hold an open house every weekend? So are you being an enemy to your success? We just talked about what it takes to achieve that success. And yeah, maybe you don't like the answer with that there. But now the question comes to, all right, am I just going to suck it up and remember what that goal is that I'm shooting for? And monetize the open house in the long run leading up to that? Because if you're holding open houses Saturdays and Sunday, yeah, you'll probably only sell one house that you're holding open. But, and that's just going by the statistics, who knows, maybe you sell even more. The average numbers just means that there's more people that sell at an open house and a lot more people that less sell at an open house. But you're going to meet so many people and you're going to get so many potential leads and potential clients of buyers and sellers. If you're holding an open house every weekend on Saturdays and Sundays, that's a lot of time to put in. you should end up with multiple closings. So that absolutely would be worth it if you're doing that every weekend on Saturdays and Sundays. But even just the one house alone, I would say that's worth it, especially if you're a new agent and you're just trying to get a house sold, is getting out there and doing the open houses. But again, going back to my point here of being a friend or an enemy, let's start with yourself here. Are you going to be an enemy of yourself and saying, oh, I don't want to do that, I'd rather do this, and it's okay to have those thoughts, but you're like, I'd rather be watching football, I'd rather watch whatever sport, or I'd rather go swimming, or I'd rather go to the beach, but you know what? I want to be a successful real estate agent. So, and now it comes down to which one of these do you want more? And don't lie to yourself with this here, because that's how you become your enemy. If you're lying to yourself, you say, oh, I'll just go to the beach today, and then tomorrow I'll do the open house. Don't lie to yourself. That's not going to work. If you're not, and that's why you have to get clear on this picture and what it takes leading up to that to begin with. But then you can't lie to yourself because you're being your own enemy. Like I said, you got to be able to trust the people it is that you have around you. You got to be able to trust yourself. So trust yourself when you say, when your inner monologue is telling you, just go to the beach. The beach is going to be really nice today, and you just do the open house tomorrow, and it'll all be fine. You'll sell a house eventually. Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie. You already knew what the steps are and what it looks like and what you had to be doing and what that statistic is. So you can't be lying to yourself in this, and let alone the people it is that are around you. Because just like you could tell yourself, just go to the beach today, you could do an open house tomorrow. That sounds like maybe something a friend would tell you when they want you to go to the beach with them. They might come to you and say, hey, look, let's go to the beach. Let's go to the beach and hang out. We'll have some drinks and we'll eat some food and, we'll Uber home because we'll be too drunk. And you're doing that instead of actually excelling your business or excelling your career. I mean, that's pretty clear. That's pretty obvious of what you're going to get good at. You're going to get good at going to the beach and drinking and eating and so on and so forth. But you might say, oh, wait, John, I'll just do that this one day. I got to have fun, right? I got to have some rest. I got to have some relaxation time and so on and so forth. Yeah, but after you've done your work, maybe go to the beach after you've held the open house and after you've done your open house follow-ups. Then, okay, yeah, maybe you've earned a trip to the beach at that point. But if you know what it is that you have to do and you're refusing to do those things, you're doing a disservice to yourself. You're lying to yourself. You're going to end up disappointed with yourself because you're not achieving the goals, and that could go out to everyone it is that you have around you. So we talked about becoming aware of the situation, knowing what it takes, and then making sure that all the stars are aligning around you, that you're doing everything you need to be doing, and you've got all your friends on the same page, and your family members and your spouses and so on and so forth all supporting you and helping push you forward and push you towards that. Now, we're going to take another quick break here, but when we come back, we're going to talk about these remaining steps, because if you have one of these situations, whether it's yourself or it's a friend or family member, what it may be, you have to know, do you want to repair this relationship? Can you repair the relationship? And then you got to go forth and take the action on that. So we're going to be talking about that after the break. Again, we're doing that Memorial Day sale, so check that out. We got a huge savings on our online course. We really don't ever do sales, so it's you got a rare opportunity in there. Go in there, check it out, tampaschool.com. You can find that. You'll see a commercial about it in the commercial reel. And I want to hear from you guys as well. Again, this is a live show, so send in your comments, send in your questions. I want to know, maybe tell me about a situation where you had somebody that was maybe a toxic relationship, or you had a time when you had a friend that you really found out didn't want you to succeed, or whatever it may be. So put that in the comments. I want to give you guys a shout out on the stream here on State of Real Estate. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but we'll be right back. Don't you go anywhere.
Your moment has arrived. It's time to launch your career in real estate. Celebrate massive savings now through Memorial Day on our revolutionary online licensing course. Visit tampaschool.com to sign up now.
10 years ago is nothing like Tampa today. It's changed dramatically over those years, and that's what's really transitioned this to be the number one healthiest housing market in the entire nation.
Do you want to incorporate studying for your real estate exams into your busy schedule? Now you can review the key topics you need to know to pass your class and state exams with our MP3 audio review. Simply pop in your headphones or connect to your car to reinforce crucial information while you exercise or drive. Listen to the first unit for free at mp3audioreview.com. That's mp3audioreview.com.
Hey, if you like the show today, be sure to hit like and subscribe and post your comments. Thanks so much for watching. Hey, welcome back to this week's episode of State of Real Estate. I'm John Chrisman, and this show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. If you're thinking about starting or enhancing your career in real estate, we've got a huge Memorial Day sale going on. It's good through today until Memorial Day. So if you guys are watching this after the fact and Memorial Day already went by, we really don't ever do sales, so you might be out of luck there. But for those of you that are watching right now, again, we've got the Memorial Day sale going on. Check it out at tampaschool.com. Big savings on our online course. If you want to start your career in real estate, we've got the best online course in the state of Florida. Go on our website. You can watch a whole demo on that and see what that course is like and see what's entailed in getting your real estate license. We're here to help you out. Give us a call at 813-928-0106, or you could also text us. We'd love to answer any questions you have. And if you guys have questions about the topic we're talking about today, put it in the comments, put it in the chat. Let me know what you guys think. And also, thank you for liking, thank you for sharing, thank you for subscribing. If you guys want to get these videos delivered to your email inbox every Friday when we do these, go to tampaschool.com/success, and you will be able to put your email in there and get updates for all of these episodes. But anyways, we talked about in the first half of the show becoming aware, because we're trying to determine whether the people are friends or enemies to our success. Not just if they're a friend or enemy to you, which ultimately, if you're one with your success, they are an enemy to you if they're an enemy to your success. So if these people are an enemy to your success, and this could be a parent, this could be a family member, this could be somebody close to you, and just through them being negative. Because that negativity, that'll get to you. Even if you say, oh no, people are negative all the time, it doesn't get to me. It'll get to you, trust me. Even if it's just kind of going on in the back of your head, you don't want that getting to you. So what happens when you now have somebody that's a friend, family member, coworker, employee, whatever it may be, that is not on the same page with you, that doesn't see it the way you see it? The first thing you want to do is think of this, of do you want to repair this? Do you want to fix this? Do you want to try to fix this relationship, basically, do you have? Do you want to fix this idea of them thinking that you can't achieve the goals, or that your organization or your company or your business or whatever it may be can't achieve the goals it is that you want to achieve? So when it comes down to that, when they say, hey, look, that's not something I think you should do. You should play it safe. You should be careful. And even if you're saying you're not taking their advice, that could still get under your skin. So you got to ask yourself, is this a relationship that I want to try to fix? Is this somebody that I still want in my life? Because if this is somebody that you still want in your life, then yeah, then we'll move forward. But if this is somebody you're like, I could take them or leave them, I say leave them. And I'll catch heat about this, because people are like, well, what are you saying? What about all the things they've done with me in the past, and so on and so forth? But because your time is valuable. You'll find that out when you're self-employed, when you're working in the real estate industry, or even if you're in like a sales position or anything like that, you'll find out the value of your time. Really, in most positions where you're performance-based, whatever it may be, whether it's a career or it's a company or whatever it is, but when your success is based on performance, that's where you take extreme value upon your time. So you've got to have the value on your time. And if that relationship, if fixing that, even though maybe you don't want to, but you want to because it's the right thing to do, you got to be clear with yourself up front and understand that that's going to cost you time to try to fix this relationship. So you got to ask yourself that question of, do you want to repair this? But now the next one, so if you decided, yes, okay, I want to try to fix this, can you repair it? Is this something that you can fix? And you know what I say? I say go out there and try. And that's really what our fourth step is this year. Go out there and try to fix that relationship. I've had to have the tough conversations with people in my life before where they're more negative about things. They say, oh, are you sure you want to do that? I'm like, hey, look, this is what I'm going to do. You could either love me or hate me, basically. That's what it comes down to. There's no in-between where I'm going to let you be a naysayer in my life and constantly try to pull me down when I'm trying to reach up. And you need to have that same mentality and that same attitude with your business, with your hobby, whatever it is that you want to be successful about. If you're trying to be a real, and let's take it. So the whole thing that prompted this episode today is the people that you're surrounding yourself with, because again, this shows state of real estate. We're specifically focusing on real estate here for a second. So when you go into, let's say, your real estate office and you're trying to get some work done, to try to achieve something, to try to make cold calls or whatever it may be. So you're there at your desk at your office and you're trying to pick up the phone and make the calls you need to make to get some money, to get your business going, to serve clients, and in exchange get value from that. So you're going to the office to get that done, but then the people in your office, they might come over to you and start talking about how your weekend was. Or start talking to you about, did you catch this football game? Or did you catch this TV show? Or did you do this? Or did you do that? Or talking about these things that is not calling on your clients. Because if you're not doing what it is that you're going there to do, you're wasting your time. And this all goes back to valuing your time. Because if you don't value your time, it doesn't matter. Waste your time all day. Talk to them all day about football or your weekend or your upcoming vacation or whatever it may be, and so on and so forth. But you gotta focus and hone your powers into what it is that you're doing right there at that moment. So if you need to be making calls to past clients, if you need to be setting appointments, if you need to be doing searches for clients that you have, whatever task it is that you need to do, if you need to be writing up a contract to send to a client so they can sign it, that should be the most immediate out of all these. But if you're not doing these other aspects, you'll probably never get to that actual contract part of this here. So you got to be there focused. And these people because coworkers are a lot of times the worst enemy with this. And let's talk about why they're your enemy. Because they're not trying to be your enemy, they're trying to be your friend. They're trying to talk about fun things, about football, about this or about that. But if it's not about, hey, how can I make a better cold call? Or how can I write this contract better? Or how can I do something that's applicable to what it is that I'm doing right now? If it doesn't apply to what it is that you're doing right now, they're being an enemy to your success. There may be so we talked about that example of going to the grocery store a couple episodes back. And when you need to go to the grocery store or whatever store it is you need to go to, you go to the grocery store. You don't stop on the side of the road to go look at ducks or to kind of go off and play some basketball at the park because you're going to the grocery store and you see some people playing basketball. You're like, oh, I want to do that, and you turn in there or whatever it may be. No, if you need to get to the grocery store and that's got the impending doom of that right there, where if you don't go to the grocery store, something bad is going to happen. That's what's going to happen in your business. If you need to get something done and you get sidetracked and you go this way and do that instead, you're not going to get to that end point. And this is how you have unsatisfied clients, because you were supposed to do something that would lead to their satisfaction. You might still get paid in the transaction, but if you're having dissatisfied clients, because your clients are worth so much more than the commission it is that you're earning. Why are they worth more than the commission it is that you're earning? Because of referral business. That's so huge in this day and age with the ability to rate people on Zillow or on Google or on Truly or on Realtor.com, where they could go in there and write a nasty review on you because you didn't show up for the appointment for the inspection or the appraisal or wherever it is that you needed to be somewhere to maybe let somebody into the property or something like that, and you got sidetracked because, I had to do this instead because, I thought that was important at the time. You got to understand that these people, these negative influences that you could be getting in your life could be doing the exact same thing to you. They could be the people that are making you miss your appointment. Or they could be the people that are making you not make the calls you need to make because, it's more convenient and it's easier to just talk to somebody rather than picking up a phone and making a call to somebody you don't even know. So and this is again going back to the awareness part of this here. But look, so say if you got one of your coworkers coming over there, and this is the one where you definitely have to do these extra steps here, because aside from just not going into the office, which that's totally an option in real estate. You might be watching this, you might be in a profession or have a business where you have to be at a particular place where you have to be around these people. But if you're going into this organization and it's just people that are all kind of just goofing off and whatnot. That's where those people are going to pull you down. Like becomes like. You're who it is that you surround yourself with. And if you're surrounding yourself with people that would rather talk about nonsense than get work done, then the easy thing would be, okay, look, just don't go to the office anymore. Don't work at the office. Work from home. Work from Starbucks. Work from wherever, so you could get the actual work accomplished that you need to get done. But let's say you have to be there, or this person has to be in your life. Because, I mean, maybe this person is your mother that's distracting you, or your father, or a family member, or a spouse even. I mean, and that's you can cut them out of your life, but I'm not recommending that in any way. You just have to have the conversation, because when you have these people that are very close to you, they want to see you succeed. And you just have to let them know what that success is going to look like. So, look, you have that coworker that comes up to you that says, hey, look, did you see this football game? Or did you watch this show? Or you're like, hey, look, I'd love to talk to that about you, but I got to make these calls right now. We'll talk in a little bit. And then that little bit just never really comes. I mean, that's the way I would do this thing here. Or you could say, hey, look, let's talk this weekend about it. I did see that game. It was great. I mean, you can go about this however it is that you want, but you got to let them know. You got to nip it in the bud just like that and say, hey, look, doing work right now. Don't distract me. Oh, what are you doing that for? You know these cold calls don't work or whatever. Hey, look, this is what I'm doing. Talk to you in a little bit. And there you go. End of story. It might seem abrasive. It might come off across a little blunt, but that's easier than sitting there. Oh, yeah, really? Yeah, I got my phone ringing right here. Do you mind if I answer that phone call while you continue to talk about the TV show you're watching or whatever it may be? So you just got to let them know, hey, look, I'm working right now. We'll hang out. We'll be friends later. But I got to get this done right now. You know a way for me to make cold calls better? No? Okay, well, we'll talk later. Or whatever it is that you're doing there. So you got to keep that focus. And that's a big part of this as well, staying focused on what that goal looks like. And again, you don't want to be your own worst enemy for this and fall victim to these people being distractions from what it is that you're trying to get accomplished. And you might really love football, and that's okay. Or you might really love that TV show it is that you're talking about, and that's okay. But not while you're trying to get work done and get things accomplished. I mean, unless this is a client, but even with a client, there's only so much talk you can make about football or about these other things. Yeah, you're going to want to build a little bit of rapport with it, but at some point, you got to get down to business. And if you're just going to sit there talking to them all day, I mean, that's keeping you away from your other clients. That's slowing your business down. That's slowing down your track to success. So we're going to take another quick break here. Like I said, let me know in the comments what questions you guys have, or maybe a scenario of somebody you had to cut off in your life, or maybe some of the influences that you have. But let me know either way in the comments. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Send that in. Don't go anywhere. You're watching State of Real Estate.
Your moment has arrived. It's time to launch your career in real estate. Celebrate massive savings now through Memorial Day on our revolutionary online licensing course. Visit tampaschool.com to sign up now.
Tampa 10 years ago is nothing like Tampa today. It's changed dramatically over those years, and that's what's really transitioned this to be the number one healthiest housing market in the entire nation.
Do you want to incorporate studying for your real estate exams into your busy schedule? Now you can review the key topics you need to know to pass your class and state exams with our MP3 audio review. Simply pop in your headphones or connect to your car to reinforce crucial information while you exercise or drive. Listen to the first unit for free at mp3audioreview.com. That's mp3audioreview.com.
Hey, if you liked the show today, be sure to hit like and subscribe and post your comments. Thanks so much for watching. Hey, welcome back to this week's episode of State of Real Estate. I'm John Chrismo, and every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time, we come to you to talk about real estate, to talk about your business, to talk about how to take it to the next level, to jumpstart it, to get it going, to really just make your whole life better. Because if you're thinking about a career in real estate and you're just kind of like thinking about it, I mean, that's a lot of thinking. If you make the jump into it, and you do all the necessary actions, you have the potential to change your life. And that's what I love so much about being in this industry. We have so many people that come to us that we're helping make their lives better because maybe they have this ultimate end goal and what they're doing right now doesn't help them achieve that goal. And when we're able to help move them towards that goal, and maybe their end goal isn't even always a career in real estate. Maybe they want to become a real estate investor. We've got a lot of people that come take our course that use becoming a real estate agent as a stepping stone to investing in real estate, because you start to learn the industry and you start to learn all about real estate. You get to learn about property transfer and contracts and all these things that people are paying people 6 and 7% to know about. So it's a great way to, like I said, make some sort of stepping stone and get yourself into the real estate space. And we've got a great sale going on this weekend until Monday, Memorial Day. So between your barbecues and your beach time and your fun in the sun, or we got a little bit of a cold front in. That's kind of strange here that we've got one, like we're in almost June here and it's like cooled down to like 70 degrees out. That's kind of strange for Florida, but whatever. But whatever it is that you're doing this weekend, between your barbecues, whatever it is, check out our sale, sign up. It's only $167 right now for our online course. That's like it's 33% off. It's a huge savings. We don't normally do sales, so you probably are not going to ever see a deal like this again for our online course. So sign up on that if you are thinking about starting a career in real estate and save yourself some money. We've got the best online course in the state of Florida. But let's get back to the topic we're talking about today. We're talking about friends or enemy. Is this somebody that's a friend to your success or an enemy to your success? And not just your friends, but also your coworkers, your employees, your family members, whatever it may be. You got to understand if they're helping move you forward, and if they're not helping move you forward, even if it's just they want you to succeed, but they don't want you to get hurt, or they don't want you to get in trouble, you got to have the conversation with them like, hey, I know you're looking out for my best interest and you really want to help me, but look, I know what I'm doing here. I know this is where I want to go and these are the things I need to do. You got to let me do them. You got to let me spread my wings. You got to let me fly. So, but like I said, you got to have the conversation, and that's maybe somewhere where you don't make so light of the conversation, but that's really what it is that you're saying. Like, hey, look, instead of saying this, I need you to say this. Don't tell me about being in the real estate industry, how it's based on sales and so on and so forth, and how are you going to sell something, and so, or what if this happens or that happens, or like, look, I don't need to hear those things. You probably already know about these things, but you're pushing yourself forward, move forward. Or maybe you're investing in real estate, and they're telling you, hey, look, I don't want you to like have to deal with termites, or what if one of the tenants stops paying their rent, or what if their toilet gets clogged at 1 a.m? I mean, won't that like bug you? And it's sort of like, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to be unclogging a toilet at 1 a.m, but that's why I have a property management company, for them to take care of that type of stuff. And they're like, oh, but how much are you having to pay them? And it's okay, look, this is what I want to do. And that's where you got to be true to yourself to begin with. You got to understand what that goal looks like and what it is that you want to take yourself. If you want to get to a certain goal and you know the steps it is to achieve it, don't let people hold you back and stop you from running across that finish line. Because maybe this race it is that you're running, maybe this race is across like some dangerous areas. Maybe there's some lions that are out there trying to nab you on this, or the crocodiles here, or what do we got, alligators? Or we got alligators or crocodiles in Florida? I think it's alligators. Pretty sure we've got both, actually. Some escaped from the zoo or lost pets or whatever it may be. But you've got these alligators that are maybe trying to grab you and snag you and take you off this track. So there's going to be these obstacles out there. But if you're busy listening to the people it is that are telling you to watch out for the cliff, you're not going to be looking forward to actually see that cliff that you actually might end up running over. So you got to stay focused on what that end goal is. And then when you see an obstacle, you kind of maneuver around it, but you got to keep moving forward towards that end goal and what it is that you want to achieve. So I just want to recap some of these things here. So this, and a big part of this here, because we talked about these other things of do you want to repair it, can you repair it, and then you either repair it or move on. But it comes down to first and foremost being aware of this. And this is where most people fall off on this, and where this is where most people have the biggest issue with this here, is because they're not aware. Even at the personal level, they don't know what it is exactly that goal it is that they want to achieve. And I'm such a big, huge proponent of setting goals, because if you're out there and you're trying to achieve something, but you don't know where it is that you're going, you don't know what it is that you're trying to achieve, you don't know what the steps are that it takes to achieve, you're going to have a really, really, really hard time achieving that goal, because you're just kind of out there wandering through life. And you might have heard the expression, go with the flow. And I used to use this expression, go with the flow, until I realized what this means to you. what it means to just go with the flow. Because if you're just going with the flow, let's imagine you're on a river, and you're cruising through the river, you're just going through the flow, and you're just kind of kicking back, letting life kind of pass you by, and you're just saying, oh yeah, okay, look, I'm gonna watch the ducks over here. Instead, I'm just gonna go with the flow. The flow is taking me this way, and you're just sitting back and kicking back, and the point is you're not being intentional about where it is that you're taking this boat that is your life. If you're just going with the flow here, that flow is gonna be pulling you towards a waterfall. So you might be pulling down this little river, or you might be heading along and kind of just cruising along, going with the flow, and then all of a sudden you start hearing the water picking up. You're like, all right, things are moving fast now. And that's what happens with the real estate market when there's this massive peak that we had 10 years ago. This was people, going with the flow. Everybody's investing in real estate, so I've got to invest in real estate. Real estate is going crazy right now, so I've got to go with the flow of real estate. You saw what happened when people invested at the top. So that's usually the one tip that people will tell you that almost everyone knows is you want to buy low and sell high, not buy high and sell low. That's where you lose money. So, but what happens when everybody's going with the flow? That's where they're saying, oh, look, real estate's a great investment. Everyone's doing it. I need to invest in real estate. And you see that you're falling over some sort of cliff. And that's what happens when the current starts to pick up and things start whooshing forward. Now, there's a lot of other factors that go into this with the real estate space. Tampa actually just got ranked one of the #1 healthiest markets in the country. So even though we're going up, we should continue to go up. But if that starts to accelerate and starts to get too fast where there could be an issue, when there eventually is a fall, it's going to be so much deeper and so much stronger where you're going over this edge and you're taking a tumble. Because you don't want to be in a canoe heading towards Niagara Falls, all of a sudden to find yourself at the edge of Niagara Falls. Yeah, and maybe now it's a little bit too late to pull out your paddle and start paddling. And since you haven't been paddling this whole way, when you find yourself at the falls about to go over, you don't have the strength to even try to move yourself at all. But if you're being intentional about your life, if you're not going with the flow, if you're using your paddle and making your paddling muscles or your brain or whatever it is stronger by making decisions with this here, you'll be more able to avoid these waterfalls. So when you're being intentional about these things, you can avoid going over the edge. But that involves you making choices, and sometimes these choices are hard. Sure, it'd be a lot easier to just kick back in your canoe or your kayak or whatever vessel it is that we're riding in. It's easy to kick back and just relax. This is fun. A nice little ride down the river here. For some reason, the water's flowing this way, but whatever. I'm just going to let it take me, and it'll take me probably to some nice little slow stop. No, it's a waterfall. It's going to take you over there. But if you're being intentional and you're rowing and you're fighting this here, that not only is that going to make you stronger, so if you do find yourself at the edge about to go over, you'll be able to handle that better, but you're also going to be making the choices that, again, are sometimes hard. It's more difficult to have to row the boat, but you want to row the boat so you don't end up going over the falls. So, and that comes down to, like I said, doing these hard things, and it's hard. Even if you want to keep this person, it's probably harder to keep this person in your life and to course correct and make this correction than it is to just leave. That's really the easy way out, just to cut this person off. And sometimes, that's what you do there. But if you want to keep this person in your life, it's going to be more difficult if you want to actually say, hey, look, I want you to still be my mom, or I still want you to be my friend, or I still want you to be my employer, whatever it may be. But look, we can't go on like this. That's a tough conversation to have. And that's harder than just cutting these people out of your life altogether. So, like I said, the big thing comes down to being aware. Because these discussions, when you're aware of what the problems are, and you want to have this discussion of what the problem is, if you're aware of what's going on, it's going to be easy for you to convey. And the way you're preemptive and preventative about all this stuff here is you just go into this saying, hey, look, this is that, and this is what I want to do, or this is what the obstacles we're going to run into here. Are you with me? And if you say that, they've committed to this then. And then when they start kind of maybe fighting you on this or having negativity, it's like, hey, look, I told you it's going to be tough, but, keep your eye on the prize. Keep your eye on not going over the waterfall, or whatever metaphor it is that I've dropped in here that you want to try to tie into this. So that's pretty much all I've got for you guys today on friends or enemies. Like I said, it comes down to, number one, knowing yourself, not being an enemy to yourself. Because you could be your biggest friend or you could be your biggest enemy. No one's going to be a bigger friend or enemy to yourself than you are. You're your number one friend or enemy. And then you've got the people around you, which if you're being a friend to yourself and you're out there showing everybody, hey, look, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to achieve, then they'll get on the same page or you'll go your separate ways, whatever it may be. So that's a big thing here. And I know we kind of got into something that applies a lot in your life, and this is kind of very superficial and kind of hard to tie this in, but what you got to look at is this person pulling me up or are they pulling you down? Because if they're pulling you up, that's great. That's a person that's not maybe only a friend personally, but a friend to your success. But if you have somebody that's a friend, but they're not really a friend to your success, they're really an enemy because they're holding you and keeping you down, which you want to try to avoid that as much as possible. Hope you guys have taken away some stuff from this show that you can implement into your life, into your business to help grow it and develop it and foster some success in your lives. I want to see you guys succeed. That's our biggest thing with our students. I mean, we wouldn't exist if it wasn't for our students' success. So that's a big thing. And not only keeps us alive, but also keeps us thriving and wanting to push forward and be better and better. And that's why we do these shows every Friday, 12 noon Eastern time. State of Real Estate on Fridays at 12 noon. Ask the Instructor, 12 noon on Wednesdays. Make sure you tune into both of them. Thank you guys for subscribing, liking, sharing this with your friends, your family members, whoever it is that you think that could be important. And hey, look, again, if you've got a friend in your life that's maybe being an enemy to you, I wish you the best of luck. Get that out there, get that corrected, get them on the same page with you, and they'll probably be even more supportive than if you hadn't done this at all and maybe just cut them off. But that's all I got for you guys today on State of Real Estate. I'll see you next week at 12 noon.
Your moment has arrived. It's time to launch your career in real estate. Celebrate massive savings now through Memorial Day on our revolutionary online licensing course. Visit tampaschool.com to sign up now.
Tampa 10 years ago is nothing like Tampa today. It's changed dramatically over those years, and that's what's really transitioned this to be the number one healthiest housing market in the entire nation.
Do you want to incorporate studying for your real estate exams into your busy schedule? Now you can review the key topics you need to know to pass your class and state exams with our MP3 audio review. Simply pop in your headphones or connect to your car to reinforce crucial information while you exercise or drive. Listen to the first unit for free at mp3audioreview.com. That's mp3audioreview.com.
Hey, if you liked the show today, be sure to hit like and subscribe and post your comments. Thanks so much for watching.